Inventory and home prices. Let's talk about it on Today in Mortgages. Hey, what's up, Greenmakers? Welcome back to the show. We're talking about what's real, what's hype, and what you should actually be paying attention to out there in the world of real estate and mortgage news. It's Today in Mortgages. Rich, it's been a crazy week. How you doing?
Good morning, Michael. What's happening?
A lot's happening out there in the market. Not a lot's happening with me, just trying to pay attention to what's going on. Obviously, Rich, we'll briefly talk quickly right now. Fed had some comments this week. Tell me what happened.
Well, they're really not seeing the urgency to lower the Fed fund rate. I mean, the economy is still so hot, inflation is still where it's at. Not seeing it come down as quickly as they would like. But listen, time will tell. It seems like every time we get together and talk about this, it's something different, Michael, right? Uh, but the steady thing that we're constantly talking about is when will they reduce the Fed fund rate? Like
Mm.
how many left? I think we're down to maybe one reduction this year. But
Yeah,
but
every
Michael, that
time.
can all change next month.
That's right. Every time we
So
talk, it seems like there's, a new prediction. We started the year maybe at six. Now we're down to two or one. And it just all boils down to Powell saying that he needs that consistent evidence that we're trending towards that 2% inflation, which he doesn't see enough consistency right now, which makes sense based on the reports that we're seeing. It's pretty incredible how the economy's buzzing along, and that's great for a lot of things, but not great for our market. But Rich, there has been some good indicators, and one of the things that we're talking about in inflation is those housing and rent costs. And what we're talking about today is an article that came out on Realtor.com, and it says home sellers don't hold all the cards this spring. 15% of them have slashed prices, and so let's start with that headline. Rich, is that a surprise to you?
no, what's slashing prices? Like
Yeah.
again, we need to ask another level of questions to this writer. But yeah, sure, there are concessions that are happening. The concessions are happening towards closing costs to help the buyers buy down interest rates and help them with closing costs. And that, with the exception of a small period during the COVID years, that's standard practice. It's just negotiation on your offer and what the seller's willing to accept. So slash, I don't know. Maybe they feel like they need to give a little bit in order to maintain the higher price that the home has appreciated over the years. They're just giving a little to the buyer to help them with the interest rate. That's mainly the case that we're seeing.
Yeah, so maybe in reality, that word slash should be replaced with willing to negotiate.
Right.
So, but the other piece of that, and the reason why maybe is because this report says the total number of homes for sale in March was 23.5% above last year's levels, marking 5 months of inventory growth, which is good news, right, Rich?
That, of course, that's good news. The article also goes on to say about the price range. And, you know, we've seen 0.2% growth in just the median sales price between February and March. So prices are still rising. Yes, sellers might be cutting their list price a little bit or negotiating it to the buyer. But what jumped out at me was the homes that sales price of 200,000 to 350,000 that rose over 30% in March. That's where the growth needs to happen. That's where we need to see the listings. We've got a ton of listings. Many are out of reach for your average first-time home buyer. So to see that $200,000 to $350,000 range increase by 30%, that's big for first-time home buyers.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of this is market dependent, whether or not people are slashing or negotiating on prices, whether or not they are seeing more listings, whether or not those listings are, higher on their purchase price. A lot of that is market dependent. It goes into some of that here in the article, and of course, there's lots of resources for that. But it has been really interesting to see how that's played out in different markets across the country. The other thing, Rich, is that we are kind of in that spring home buying season that traditionally in normal markets, which we haven't necessarily been in a while, is where we see a big boost. So, are we seeing some of that happen right now, or what's going on with that in prices?
Yeah. Yeah, we're seeing the spring boost. Yeah, people are out looking at homes, and it's like every year where the business is up, but we're up from such a low place it doesn't feel like we're up.
Mm.
So, there's still positive momentum happening. We still got the summer. Listen, family life changes, family size changes, jobs change. Lots of things change that require people to either, maybe they go to a smaller home or need a bigger home or need to be in a bigger, different marketplace for work. All of those life changes continue to go on and people need to buy homes. So, we're seeing it. Yes, I wish we were seeing more of it, but you're only going to see so much with interest rates this high and a limited inventory of homes for sale.
Yeah, good word, Rich. And it does seem like things are kind of moving in that direction, trying to get back to what we might try to say is normal. And we're seeing some good signs of that. But like you said, it is on a scale that we would love to see be much larger. So positive things happening, maybe not as fast as we want. Interesting time with the Fed. Interesting time with the economy. Lots to be unpacked. And so that's why we continue to talk about these things over and over, just to make sure that you guys out there are well informed about what's going on in the market and paying attention to how you can communicate that best to your borrowers and buyers. So, Rich, any words you have on that communication piece?
Listen, the communication is the market always works itself out. We've been talking about the green shoots in the market for both real estate agents and loan officers as well as buyers. There's been a lot of green shoots. A lot of great things are happening. The market is moving forward. Things are becoming more normal. The what felt like a normal rate at 3%, that was not normal. But at that time, people were like, okay, these are the interest rates now. No, normal is in the 7+ range over the history of time in this business. And we're kind of normalized now. We're jumping up and down a little bit each day. It's a little volatile, but we're at where we're at and people need to buy homes. So we're moving forward. We're seeing applications increase, locks increase. People are just deciding, I like my loan officer. I love my realtor. I like the rate for now. I'm going to move forward. It fits in my budget.
Great word, Rich. I think that that's the interesting thing is it takes a long time for that shock to wear off of, we were at such low interest rates for so long, artificially lowered, after the housing crisis and definitely lowered during the pandemic. And so coming back to what feels like extraordinary, but is actually historically normal rates is going to be tough for people to swallow, but eventually life is going to move on and they are going to have to understand that that is the reality. And I think, just holding in there, seeing and communicating with borrowers and buyers and making sure that we're helping them make the right decisions for them and their family, not based on rate, but based on their life stage. And so that's what we're really trying to work on here. And if you're interested in knowing more about how you can get better coaching and results, click on the Grow link below and we'll get you connected with all the resources that you need to know what it looks like to be a part of the best network in mortgages. Rich, any final words before we sign off today?
That's it, Michael. I hope you have a great day. And I hope for a great day today and tomorrow for rates.
Definitely. We'll be paying attention to it and we'll be talking about it next time on Today in Mortgages. Today in Mortgages is produced by Network Funding LP, which is an equal housing lender, NMLS 2297. The content of this program is meant to be a commentary on mortgage and real estate news, and any discussion of rates and or products should not be taken as an individual mortgage or home buying advice or pricing estimates. And any commentary on this show should not be considered a promise to make a loan. All applicants for a loan must qualify, and you should consult a professional regarding your individual loan scenarios for your financial situation. Visit our website at nflp.com/licenses for all state licensing and other legal information.